We have two autumns here in the UK, and no matter which autumn you follow, we are into autumn. About a fortnight ago, we started meteorological autumn. I don't know why we have to have two autumns, but anyway, the proper autumn, as far as I'm concerned, and the most scientific one, is astronomical autumn, which occurs with the autumn equinox on September the 23rd, the point where the day and night are both of equal length. We're about a week now into astronomical autumn, and today probably is the first day that it feels like autumn. It's the 29th of September today. So, to try and wash away those melancholy thoughts that I've had over the last week or so, it's been hard to get out anywhere or feel the need and get the urge to get out anywhere. So, we're here at Duke's Wood for a wander. I don't particularly mind autumn. It's going to come and it's going to go, so you have to make the most of it. It is a very beautiful season. Season, of course, of changing leaves. The end of a year, almost. That's what it marks to start off to me. It's also the time of year where flies seem to make the most of sitting on leaves and spend a lot of time doing as such. And there's numerous flies doing that here. It's also the time of year where hornets patrol edges of woodland rides such as this. And speckled woods, late flying speckled woods, do a lot of that. Male still showing territorial dominance. These two, whether you can see them now or not, have been doing this on and off for about 10 minutes, and they still haven't picked a winner yet. Speckled wood is one of the more prominent butterflies that we get in the UK this time of year. Small copper is another one. Another butterfly which will put in a third brood, probably in much the same way as speckled woods have. Always nice to see a late small copper on a bit of Nottinghamshire heathland or scrubby wasteland. And of course, there's still plenty of red admirals about in this most spectacular of red admiral years. Not really any change in these leaves yet. Only a matter of time they'll get a few more cooler nights, and that change will begin in earnest. This is dogwood, but some trees that suffered during the dry spells that we had in 2023 are almost defoliated. Some sallows have struggled this year. But these dogwoods are healthy and still green. But while we don't have any autumn colour on this foliage, there is some colour at Duke's Wood today. There's an apple tree tucked away in an open clearing in the middle of Duke's Wood. And the fallen fruit from that apple tree, as you may well be able to see, is attracting around half a dozen red admirals. One is, or there are two at the base of the tree, and two very close here, just seeking out those windfall apples that have fallen or been kicked away from the tree. One of the common sights of autumn, of red admirals feeding on fallen fruit. There is a comet here as well that has sat in the tree somewhere, or at least was. And hornets, there's a hornet flying around there. Lots of hornets here today. Hornets at this time of year often seem to lack direction in some ways, and that's probably because the founding queen of the colony is perhaps gone now, and once that queen dies, the colony ceases to function properly, and of course is ultimately doomed. The red admirals, on the other hand, like the one flying around there, might just be off screen, are fine and will be fine. And once we get a decent day, many of these here, if not all of them, will start to fly south, or at least find somewhere to get ready to tug away to overwinter. For some people it is hard to like autumn, or to find something positive about autumn, but the positives are there. Sometimes with autumn they just take a little bit more eking out, so to speak. And one of the things I particularly like, even though the plant here is now dead, it's done what it was required to do during the earlier part of the year. This hogweed has left us with some quite beautiful seeds. Next time you see these, take a look, a closer look, a proper look at the seeds. They are quite beautiful. Or almost a dead straw, pale straw colour. That darker centre where the seed is, and those little stripes, 4 or 5 stripes on the side of each seed. Beautiful little things. Autumn, say, marks that crossover between sort of life and death, so to speak, really. Much as in the case of this hogweed here. In the spring it provided some nice foliage and then some nice flowers for the insects during the summer months, and now it provides seeds. And seeds obviously represent new life for next year. With those negatives comes a positive. Sometimes though, those positives can be hard to find, but find beauty in what life there used to be. That's one of the things I always bear in mind with autumn. Lots of dead foliage or dying foliage, but yet that dying foliage can ultimately be very beautiful. One thing I like about woodland is the protection. The protection that they give you from the elements. That's why our trees are vitally important. I wish we realised it. It's very breezy today outside of Woodland. And the good thing about Woodland is that the trees that encompass that woodland look after each other. They all offer each other protection. Quite beautiful here today. Lots of crab apples. It's been a good fruiting year. But it's just a lovely picture. I mean, look at that. Beautiful. Amazing what a bit of sun does.